Hi there, I'm Kathleen of Toodle Art and Design, and I'm going to show you how to make a pet fish. So have you been asking your parents for a pet, maybe a dog or a cat or just even a fish, and they've said no? Parents, have your kids been asking you for a dog or cat or fish and you just don't want to go there? It's perfectly understandable. We're not always ready for a real pet. So this is a fun, artsy solution to getting a pet. And while you can't play with it, you can't play with a fish anyway, but it does look pretty on a shelf and you feel like you've got a pet thing. So what you need is a bowl. I got this from Hobby Lobby, often 50% off, so it's like 50 cents. You can get them at Joann's, usually in the floral section. So you need a bowl. And I like the glass because it's just more authentic. And you need some rocks, some sand. This is a clay. This is air dry clay. I don't have the package with me, but if you go on Amazon and Google colorful air dry clay, you get a pack of like, I want to say 36 of these, all different colors, rainbow colors, for about $11. And this stuff is fun. Kids love it. It almost has like a slime feel. When it's wet, you can make a ball and it bounces. It dries nice and hard. I use it in a ton of projects, whether it's part of the projects or just like a base underneath. So I highly recommend, if you're looking to have art supplies around the house, get this air dry clay. So air dry clay, feathers, which I use as fins, popsicle sticks. You only need one because you're going to hold your fish into your bowl with a popsicle stick. And then, beads, or if you want embellishments, these are pearls, obviously not real, that I find in all different colors in the floral section of like Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's. I like to sprinkle them in the bottom. You can also make, out of the clay, you could make an oyster, and then you have the pearl in it. It's just however detailed you want to get. I'm going to make a very simple fish. So what I start out with is a lump of clay on the bottom that I am going to, this is what's going to be the anchor for the fish. So I like to get, kind of round. It's going to get covered over with the sand and the rocks. And I like to put a little bit of glue in the bottom and then press this in. Leave it pretty thick so that there's enough, you don't have it real thin and the toothpick's not going to hold. So you want to do that. And then I pour this right over, because we have a little bit of time before that dries. Pour this over the lump. And then I like to have colorful rocks. This also keeps sand from getting all over your house. It's pretty. And then, you've got like a layered look. Now, this can be a pretty quick project, as I'm going to do, but with if you're doing this with your kid or your kid's doing it, they can get as detailed on their fish. I've seen kids decorate the outside with gemstones and different things, or they've built like mermaids and people sitting on the outside. You can get pretty crazy. So now I'm going to even throw a couple pearls in now. Just make it easier. And if you want, you could throw a little something sparkly in there. I'm going to just leave it with the pearls for today, but you could do beads or whatever. And then I'm going to make a sort of a, almost like a betta fish kind of design. So this project is a perfect opportunity if you want to get a little bit sciencey and pull up pictures of different fish. I mean, there's so many different fish in the ocean, and there's so many different colors and shapes. It's just really wild. So that's an opportunity to look at fish, come up with some ideas. Well, I can tell you, kids love clay. I mean, in order of stuff to do, clay is probably number one. So they love to play with clay. This is good for their hands, and this is a little bit of color theory, because they're coming up with, their color design and their fish design. So it's your thinking, and you got to think ahead, and it's 3D. Kids love 3D. I can't say that enough. So for a basic fish, I just make them in a teardrop shape. That's it. And you want to make sure he's going to fit in the bowl. So don't make them too big. I am going to press this in here. I'm going to use a bead. I have these fairly big beads, which he may be a little bit little, but I'm just going to go with it and I'm going to press a bead. You know, fish's eyes tend to be like on the sides of their heads, but it's wherever. So I'm pressing these beads in. So there's his eyes. And then I am so I want these feathers to be sort of the same size. I'm going to do his fins. Actually, I think I'm going to just, the smaller ones, I'm going to just press these in on the sides. I mean, it's not anything fancy. And you can break the spines of your feathers if you want them to curl a little bit. So I'm going like that. One's a little bit bigger than the other, but I think that's okay. And then I'm going to crack this a little bit and put, that will be his tail. I'm going to make sure it's going to fit in here. So you want to test, so that's going to fit. And I think I need one more little feather for the head. I was going to do white, but I don't think I want to. I'm going to get a blue. Hang on. I've got this nice, this is like perfect for this feather's like perfect for his head. So I'm going to put it there. I don't know if fish have feathers on their heads, but this one does. And then I'm going to take the stick. So I match this with my fish. If you have toothpicks that don't match, you can just put a little Sharpie on there so it's, you know, it doesn't stand out. You don't have a red stick. I am actually, this is going to be a little bit long because my fish is smaller, so I'm going to break that off, put it in here, and then right in to the bowl. So you want to get them all in there, and then just press them in. See, then there he is swimming in his bowl. Now you can, if you have like a silk plant at home, you could cut a little bit of the greenery and stick it in there because it's nice. Or you could use a feather. I'm going to just leave it plain because I think it looks fine like that. And so that is how you make a pet fish. Thank you for joining me at Doodle Art and Design.